Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to Get Hit with the Truth. So today we are doing the What's Next on Abraham Supernova, the now former world title challenger, following his second pro defeat when he challenged O'Shaquie Foster in February on ESPN and came up short, losing a close split decision to Foster for the WBC title. Well, before we get into that, if you could smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel, I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I continue to build my channel here. So obviously, you know, he put forward a good enough performance here to get a What's Next video. He wasn't in my top 10, but I always felt like Nova was a good fighter. And you really saw when he moved down in weight to fight WBC Ramirez, that really wasn't a good definition of him, as Ramirez stopped him. But he moved down from 130 to fight Ramirez at 126 and got stopped in that one in the Battle of Undefeated. So you really saw that it wasn't exactly who he was, and I called it going into this fight. I said against Foster, it's going to be a competitive fight, and it was. And Nova almost pulled it out. He really did. He fought his ass off. So now the big question is, what's next for Abraham Nova following that loss to O'Shaquie Foster? So let's run it through the top 10 and see what could be coming up next for Nova. We start with WBO champion Emmanuel Navarrete. Now, it would be an easy fight to make, but I don't see this happening. Navarrete's moving up to 135 and challenging for the title there. If he is victorious, he's likely staying at 135, and if he loses, he probably comes back down to 130, but I don't know if he fights a guy like Nova in his first fight back. So I'm leaning towards the less likely. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if it did happen, but I think actually Navarrete is going to win at lightweight, and this fight would be off the table. Then there's Robson Conceição, the former three-time world title challenger, and I really believe that this fight could be like a final eliminator if Conceição doesn't get a title shot next against somebody. Conceição fought his ass off against Navarrete. He should have got a decision over Oscar Valdez a couple years ago. He's fought for titles 3 times. He's still a very good contender here at 130. And he's also with Top Rank, so it'd be an easy fight to make between him and Conceição. And I think if neither one of these guys get the fight they want, I could see Bob Arum matching them up against each other to really see who is going to get right back in the mix. So I do think this one's a possibility. Then there's IBF champion Joe Cordina. Not likely with Nova coming off of a loss. Not likely that Cordina would give him an opportunity. Plus, it'd be Top Rank working with DAZN, and I don't see that one for a fight of this magnitude. Then there's a rematch with O'Shaquie Foster. I wouldn't mind seeing it, but I think Foster's going to move in another direction just because there's not a high demand for this fight, even though a lot of people would like to see it, myself included. There's not a high demand for this fight. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. Then there's Shavkat Rakhimov. Rakhimov's also coming off of a knockout loss at home. He's also a DAZN guy with Matchroom. So I don't see these two sides coming together for this one. Then there's WBA champion Lamont Roach Jr. I don't see it because Lamont Roach is either going to want to unify belts, or he's going to make his 2 mandatories that he has due. So Nova is not going to be in the cards for him. Then there's former 2-division champion Oscar Valdez. Interesting matchup depending on what happens with Valdez and Liam Wilson next. Valdez could be, if he defeats Liam Wilson and becomes the mandatory #1 contender at the WBO title, or gets upgraded to WBO champion because it's for the interim belt, Valdez could very easily fight a guy like Nova in his initial defense. But I think Valdez is going to want to shoot for higher, and with Nova coming off of a loss, I just don't think Valdez would fight him, so I'm leaning towards the no. Then you got Mark Magsayo, the power puncher. Good matchup, but I don't think the two sides would come together for this one, especially with Magsayo having ties with the PBC. And then you got Edward Vasquez, the former a world title challenger. Good matchup right here, but Vasquez, I believe, is with DAZN. And, you know, Nova being with Top Rank and ESPN, I just don't see the two sides coming together. So Nova, he's going to have to kind of, in a sense, get lucky to get a top 10 guy. I don't think a title shot is in the cards next for him. But I really do believe a fight with Robson Conceição could be, you know, potentially happen if Conceição doesn't get an opportunity at a world title or something like that next as well. But I do believe Nova has got good things coming his way following this performance. It was a strong one, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does next. So that's it. That's what I got. That's my what's next on former world title challenger Abraham Supernova following his decision loss to Oshaki Foster for the WBC title at 130 pounds. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.